and it was kind of like ignored, and the companies would just make up a new pair of glasses in order to resolve it. The skill involved in that to resolving the visual problems was not there anymore, because the new people that are now introduced to optics are just basically trained up to operate a software and to give some general advice, and then as they progress, obviously their knowledge will increase, and then they're in a position to do so. But that takes years of certain amount of experience, I suppose, in optics. So for myself, where I've been involved in over 15 years, I've been involved with problem solving, looking at increasing the sales or the turnover, the customer service side, and basically all the other aspects of clinical aspects of the optics side. And whenever you're presented with someone who walks in, it is our responsibility to resolve that, or try to do as much as we can. And that's basically what I've been doing, but then it's slowly been pushed away, and I felt that there was a point where I was not being able to use my skills. So by not using your skills, your brain doesn't work as efficiently as it needs to. So the triggers, not the triggers, but the stimulation of the brain was just depleting in that way. So I felt that I needed to move out and look for a different challenge.
You didn't feel challenged?
That's right. Look for a different challenge. That's right.
Right.
So, and that's why, I mean, for many different reasons I've gone into energy consultancy, because there is a big future in itself.
Inshallah.
And again, you know, we're speaking on that side of things as we progress along the program.
Yeah. Inshallah. So basically you advise people on what they should do to their property, commercial properties, put solar panels on there, or am I going wrong?
Well, the solar panels is relatively new, although it's increasing at the moment.
There's an opportunity in that. There's a business opportunity. I mean, not making millions and millions, but you can make a modest income. That's what I heard. So.
Yes, of course. I mean, there's two parts to the solar panels. That is, one is the installation, and the other is the sales. So in order to install, you need a qualified electrician and a team of installers to actually install it onto the roof. The sales is sales and marketing in order to make aware to other people what the benefits are. One of the key things about solar panels is that once it's installed, it may cost £4,000+ depending on the surface of the roof, but the government has introduced an incentive through, in alliance with the energy companies, that you will be getting £450 per year as a rebate for having the solar panels installed.
£450, 10 years?
No, for up to 25 years.
So you'll get more than than the cost.
That's right.
If you've covered your costs, and after that you're free money. Free money, basically.
That's right. And also on a monthly basis, if the solar panels are producing an excess amount of electricity, you can actually then sell that excess amount back to the grid, and for that you'll get paid. And that's approximately, I believe it's 41p per kilowatt per unit.
So I mean, from your experience, I mean, how much can someone make?
On average,
a modest income, like a month. Okay, they can get that £450 after 10 years. It covered the initial cost, so that's the investment, and then on top of that, you know, selling back electricity to the grid.
That's right. Selling back electricity to the grid. The average figure I'll quote is anything from £30 above.
Right.
Yeah.
A month.
A month.
That's just all right.
Which
you're doing nothing. I mean, you're not really working. You're not having to do anything. You don't switch anything on even.
No,
it produces electricity itself, and and the excess goes back, and then you get a check in the post.
That's right. And plus, it may be wired up to just cover your lighting area, which obviously has a certain amount of percentage towards your actual bill itself. So you will not only be saving money, but you'll actually be getting a check back from the energy company, which is pretty good.
Do you know, I mean, someone might be watching, and I know how people think. They say, £30, oh, that's nothing, it's crazy. You know, I remember I actually called my mum one time when I first started my first online business, and I had some adverts on the site and stuff. And on the first day, I made £5, and I called my mum. I said, Mum, I've made £5 today. And she started laughing. She said, oh, you can get more working for Tesco's, you know, for that. And I said, but I made that £5 doing nothing.
Yes.
It was a big
value for you.
Do you understand? The same thing that I did for £5, if I do it 10 times, if I built 10 sites, it'll be £50.
That's right.
In theory, obviously, not every site's going to perform the same.
No.
Not every site's going to generate enough traffic.
Yeah.
But the concept itself, Richard Branson, when he looked at the airline industry before he even started Virgin Atlantic, he said he went to the airport and he seen there's a lot of people waiting, delayed flights, cancelled flights, and he said, hey, why don't I basically hire a plane
That's right.
and then try it out?
That's right.
Charge people at a minimum,
That's right.
and if it's profitable, then I'll create a business. And that's what he did.
That's right.
Yeah, and he took the plane all the way to America and back, and he only made £1 profit. And people are thinking, wow, all that trip back and forward for just £1. And he said, that's it, good business idea. If I'm making profit of £1, I'm in it.
Yeah.
And that's how he started Virgin Atlantic. So this is it, when a lot of people out there, they start up in business, and like I discussed with Ashraf a couple of weeks ago on the first episode, where I said basically, people don't even break even.
No.
They continue losing money even
That's
after
right.
6 months.
That's right.
Only a few people break even. That means they're not making money and they're not losing money. They're just covering their costs.
Yeah.
And then
It's
you
that,
have a
it's that
opportunity.
satisfaction you get from actually making money yourself.
Yeah.
And the fact is, once, like you did, you were making that £5, it's a perpetual machine. It's now generating money on its own. So you
Yeah.
build like 10 of these perpetual motion machines, free energy, it's growing quickly. And I remember you was mentioning earlier about like solar panels. Sorry, just quickly
Yes, of course.
segue.
Yes.
Is solar the future then? Or is other energy the sources? Is nuclear an alternative, wind turbines? Or is solar the way to go?
Okay, it depends on the different aspects. I mean, the whole world itself has its own natural energy source. One being the sun, then you've got the wind, and then you've got the water, in terms of the oceans and the seas that are available with the tidal waves, this is. So you can generate electricity just by a turbine, which is then connected to an electromagnetic in order to produce the electricity. So it's not actually been, how should I say, tapped into to its full potential, and it's only now that where the most oil and energy that is now being used is actually going down, and the sources are reducing, that we're now looking at alternative resources. So as a result, all of these other areas are now becoming, more awareness to everyone, and obviously the industries as well.
Yeah.
And I think in the next few years it will become big business in itself.
Just the sun itself.
Well, the sun, the wind, which
the
is
wind.
you've got the solar panels.
Right.
Then you've got there's two types of solar panels. One is the PV, which is the photovoltaic panels, and then the other ones are where there are tubes which heat the water due to the heat of the sunlight.
Okay.
So that may or may not work so well in this country. However, in
the hot countries.
hot countries, it will work much better.
Right.
Then you've got the wind turbines, where you see wind. Well, yeah, it's the turbines which you can see now that they're actually popping up all over the place.
But not for residential. I mean, can someone have a wind fan?
Yes, you can. Yes,
really?
you can. Yes, you can.
And it will generate enough electricity.
It will generate a percentage of the household electricity. Again,
So what's the best method, basically? Do you think the sun is the best way?
I wouldn't say anything is the best, and there's nothing right or wrong with that, but it's just a contribution towards your energy bills. It's a contribution towards reducing the amount of natural energy that we're using, like from electricity, and generating your own electricity, and thereby reducing your own bills, basically. Yeah.
Right.
So it's a substitute to what we are doing at the moment.
Yeah, that's right.
That's right.
Yeah. And
So-
then from the sun, I mean, I know the UK isn't that sunny, except in Scotland. Sunny
That's
Scotland, right?
Yes.
Is it that sunny in Scotland? I thought it was cold. So they call it sunny Scotland
We
for
do
some
have a
reason.
few days, and it is quite
It's sunny, yeah.
sunny. Yeah.
Well, maybe it's not related, because I lived in Scotland for like 10 years. So it's not that sunny that often. However, the people are sunny. They're like always friendly.
That's
beautiful
right.
as well.
It's beautiful.
That's
Yeah.
right.
That's the thing with the Scottish.
Yeah.
Amazing people. I'd love to go back. inshallah, one day.
Inshallah.
Well, I'm sure you will.
Yeah, get married and go to Scotland.
Tell your wife first, that's your plan.